Hey guys, what's going on? It's Isis, and I am back with another Character Monday video. This one's a little different, obviously, because it's not digital, it's traditional. And there is no specific purpose for this, character. I may give her a story later. She's actually an older character of mine. Her name is Cecelia. She used to go by Bobby Lally, which, I got from a manga that I used to read called Bees and Gast. I do not remember the author, but I do remember the story. And Bobby Lally was sort of like a spider-esque centaur monster thing. She wasn't really pleasant. And when I drew Cecelia back then, she wasn't a monster. She was quite off her rocker though. She was a nurse who wore Pikachu ears to work every day. And yeah, that was probably about 2008. And then in about 2012, I redrew her. I wanted to give her an actual portrait and an actual look because she had this sort of chibi look thing that I had given her because that was the style I had back then. And I was just like, you know what? Let me give her an actual look and see what I can work with. The original one wasn't bad. It was decent for 2012 me because I'd only been using a tablet for 2 years and I was attempting something semi-realistic with my tablet, which was awesome at the time. And of course, looking back at it, I'm just like, oh, this was a thing, and I was so proud of it. It's fairly... okay, it's not awful, but it was in definite need of some improvements. But overall, I'm actually pretty happy with this turnout, even though I can see all of my flaws, which are sort of irritating to me because I didn't catch them in the sketch phase. So I'm just like, oh, if I caught this early enough, I could have fixed it. But that's okay. You know, this isn't something I'm going to, sell. It's just, a piece that I wanted to redo and, test out my skills on toned hand paper with doing actual skin tones. It's not that I don't know how to do skin tones, I just have not been practicing as of late because I've been drawing Pokemon. Okay, fake Pokemon, I should say. So yeah, getting into this, I obsessed a lot over the rosacea on her face. I used Carmine Red because I was trying to hark back to Kiara Studios' technique of doing skin, but I didn't do it the same way. I didn't add the blues or yellows for highlights. But I wanted to use the Carmine Red. I was like, oh, that would be a great color to add, this to her face. So, it add some life and some color to her face, so she didn't look just pale. Kind of wish her face was a little cooler in tone, but I didn't know how to do that, and I was afraid if I had used the blue, because I was using a cream color, it would somehow make green, and I didn't want that. So, that's most of my, gripe with the photo, but otherwise I'm actually pretty pleased with that. The turnout, this was done with mixed media in mind, because hair is not my strong point, and I think if I had gone through it with it, doing colored pencils, I would have been crying, and I may still be working on this right now instead of doing a voiceover. The overall process of recording actually went pretty smoothly, which is not bad. I was just like, oh, well, this is a thing. It's not going badly. My camera was charged. It didn't die on me at random points. Everything went into, the computer just fine. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. I also wish I had used a different color for the shadows. I needed something a little browner than what I was using. I was using the henna color pencil, but I don't quite have the reddish brown that I like in terms of shadows, and I have the Derwent portrait set as well as my Prismacolor pencils, and I went with henna because I thought it was the best choice. It's an okay choice, but probably I needed something a little darker. Also, sorry for the random color change, or light change, I should say. I was concerned that the camera wasn't quite picking it up because of the lighting I had in my room this morning, or well, Sunday morning, I should say, because it's cloudy out, and I was a little concerned that it was washing everything out like it had done with the Blue Diamond video. So I was like, you know what, let me turn on the light, that way they can actually see what I'm working on. I need to get some more light in here so there's not all these harsh shadows on the right hand side of my picture. Also, the pencil sharpener there is terrible. It kind of just eats at my pencils, and I hate it a lot. So I'm definitely going to invest in a better sharpener. I should probably just go ahead and get a Prismacolor sharpener, since that's what I own. I think I'm actually really happy that I did this sort of redraw challenge. I was actually happy the last time I did a draw this again, because I had to redesign a character for a comic idea that I have, and he turned out way better the second time round. But I'm proud of this, not only because my skill has obviously improved, especially since I'm doing this traditionally instead of digitally. I'm proud of this because I didn't have to think too hard on it. Even though it's a redraw challenge, a lot of times I think I overthink things, and while I have some, obvious things that I'm, disgruntled with, I'm not, beating myself up too badly, I don't think. I just notice all my flaws sort of after the fact. That this sort of happens when I do my artwork. Also, I'm sorry that my hands are in the way. I hold my pencil very strangely. There's no fixing that at all. I also want to say I'm very proud of her eyes. Eyes are not that hard for me to do. I'm very much like my mom. I draw eyes at random. They tend to be the things that we doodle the most. But I'm proud because while this was not meant to look realistic, there is a life to them that I appreciate. And her look is very different from the original portrait. Like, to me, it seemed like her original portrait was just sort of, oh, eyes, there's shinies in her eyes, and it didn't feel, looking back at it, it doesn't feel like there's any emotion. This one, because of the sort of crookedness of her face, it seems like her eyebrows quirked a bit, like she's sort of listening, but it's like she's not quite sure she's understanding what you're saying in terms of, what the meaning is of what you're saying. But I like that about her face. I think it's kind of funny, and I think it fits who she is. I'm also glad that I didn't go in with a straight white and doing the whites of her eyes. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I did learn, probably a few years back, that it's not a necessity to do that. You don't have to make them stark white. So what I used is a cloud blue, and then I added white where I saw fit, to give some brightness to her eyes. Also, I think I burnished the image around her eye. So I had gone back to try to add in eyelashes. It didn't go so well. It was a struggle, a really, really big struggle, and I was actually super frustrated about it. I would have used marker, but I don't think using the Copic markers for this would have done me any good. I wish I had a brown, like, multi-liner, but I don't. So that's a note for future me to buy some brown multi-liners when you can, because while I managed to get it somewhat on the paper, and you'll see in the final image that it sort of looks okay, it was still pretty hard. I also want to give a shout out to Mira Byler and her hair tutorial, because I'm very pleased that I did this with Copic markers, because I would be crying if I had done this with colored pencil, because it would have been a struggle. And I don't like to struggle that much when I do hair. As much as I love to do hair, if I have to struggle with it, there's no point in doing it for me. Only because I like drawing hair so much. But if it had not been for that tutorial, I think even with the Copic markers, this would have been a large fail, because I'm always unsure when it comes to hair and how to make it look good and still not do hyperrealism. To me, and I'm going to apologize to anyone who's a hyperrealist artist or very close to realism in their art, I find it to be a little boring sometimes. That's just me. I don't hate anyone who does it, but I think if I were to draw it, I think I would get bored very easy, because there's nothing whimsical or interesting about the photo if it's too realistic, especially if it's not something you've done out of your imagination. You just like copied a photo or something. But like I said, that's just me. But definitely that video helped me out in doing the hair. I know there's some mistakes here. I had started sort of doing it not at random, but I was going faster than the video, and I probably should have waited a little bit. But it didn't turn out bad, and that's a good thing for me. Like I said, I can see my mistakes. Oh, I saw my mistakes when I was actually doing the hair. I was like, oh, I kind of screwed this up. But I didn't stop, and I still think that even though there are some mistakes that I've made, it actually looks pretty good as far as her hair is concerned. And I just really, really enjoy the fact that it came out looking so nice, especially the braids, because I think I won't say the same thing about braids that are, if there's more than just two of them, or anything like the size of box braids, especially small box braids. I'll probably be a little more irritated about that, doing those. But in retrospect, I really appreciate the turnout of this hair, and it's all thanks to that video. I had actually watched it a couple days beforehand, because it was a new video, obviously, and I really like Mira Byler, and I was like, oh, okay. But going back and watching it while doing the hair was the greatest thing I could have ever done. I only used about 4 colors. I kind of wish I had added a highlight color in the form of a colored pencil, but I'm not going to fret over it. The turnout was actually really, really well. Especially because I tend to use like several colors when I do it digitally. What I mean by several colors is I'll choose a base color, and sometimes I will forget where my highlights and darks and midtones are. Like, I'll just choose it from whatever it is I'm working on in the hair and just try to go from there and sort of wing it. So I think doing this will help me in the future. Definitely, if I can do it traditionally, I can most certainly do it digitally now, and that's a good thing to learn. There are a couple things that I did off cam, like you'll probably see me add some of the freckles here, but off camera I did color in the little Pikachu necklace. That's what that little shape is that's sort of not colored in down there. It's a Pikachu necklace because I want to sort of give an idea of where she came from to who she is now. I added some white with my Uniball Signo white gel pen, and added quite a few more freckles. And I think I fixed her eyebrows a little more because they were looking a little scarce in my personal opinion. That's all I got for you guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any comments, critiques, feedback, just leave them in the description box below. I think I will hopefully have a special treat for you on Freebie Friday, and I'm not sure what's going on Saturday yet. But thanks you guys for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!